everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the bequiet Shadow Base 800. bequiet did send me this sample, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the retail box and packaging. We can see some of our quick tech specs on the side of the box. Right here with some of our key measurements. In the very back, walks you through a couple more features, exceptional airflow and maximum space, with a nice breakout chart and diagram of each individual part and component listed on the back. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and see what's inside. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our user guide and manual walking us through everything we need to know. Nice breakdown of each individual part and component that is included. And then you'll see we have different breakouts here of all the different parts, how they all come together depending on how you're trying to cool. Then we have our panel removal instructions, color-coded. Everything's detailed and thorough for you depending on the type of installation and what you're trying to achieve. So you get the idea. This has everything you need, so be sure to reference that during your build. Next, you'll see that hard drive bracket right here, and then the hardware kit with all of our screws. Got some zip ties for cable management. Little socket here too, Phillips head socket that we can use for standoffs, things like that. And then lastly, we have the case itself. Let's look at this in more detail. At the top of the case, you're gonna find the bequiet branded removable magnetic dust cover and filter right there. You can just pop that screen up and out of the way, revealing one already installed fan included with the case right up there at the top. You'll also see at the front we have USB Type-C to USB Type-A, illuminated power button, mic and headphone jack, and we have our reset switch. Front of the case reveals our mesh front panel with the bequiet logo and branding down here at the bottom. We also have a nice handle to gently move to pull up to pop off and remove the front panel. Here's a look with the front panel removed. That reveals another screen that we can easily pop off to clean as needed. We get access to the front of the bay where we already have one pre-installed fan. Room for some additional fans and cooling as we see fit. That just snaps right back on. Got a little magnetic clasp there. And if you're wondering, here's a look at the inside of that front panel if you wanted to see it from the back. Now we're making our way to the underside of the case. You'll see our 4 feet here. Nice solid base for everything to rest. Nice gap too if you want to set this on hard floors or carpet. Hopefully you'll get a little bit of airflow underneath. So nice to see that we have that breathability there. There's another look at that handle for the front panel. You'll see this cover is able to come off as well too. So we can just gently pull and slide that out of the way, revealing all of our bottom parts and components with a mounting option here if we wanted to install a fan or things along those lines, and we can easily clean this out as needed. Here's a look at the back side. We have our exhaust fan up here already pre-installed. So if you're counting right now, that brings our fan total to 3 included fans. You'll see our motherboard I/O cut out right here, PCIe slots. You'll see our power supply down at the bottom. And then we have our screws for the back panel right there. And we'll have our screws right up here in the front for that tempered glass side panel. Now we're looking at the front side of the case with that tempered glass side panel removed. That is a very heavy duty tempered glass panel. Look at all the space we have in here. Plenty of room to configure this build however we want. You'll see our shroud down here at the bottom with some venting over on this side, but there's no removable power supply shroud cover or anything like that. It's just a solid piece of metal. 3 fans, again, that's what we get installed with this right out of the box. Cable management here, got additional room if we want to mount some drives, things like that. Now we're looking at the back side, just a solid piece of black metal, so we can unscrew that and pop it off right here. Now we have the panel removed, but I wanted to show you the back side of that panel. We have insulation. This is a really heavy duty panel that's going to help make bequiet live up to its name, where you have really quiet parts and components. So I just wanted to stress, compared to your typical case, the quality is going to be top notch with this insulated backside panel. And then with it removed, you'll see additional storage options here, how they have our cables already managed for us. You'll see the fan up there at the top, but a lot of room on the sides and down the center here, additional storage. Plenty of room too at the bottom. So look at all that for our power supply and any additional accessories, hard drives, things like that that we want to put in this build. You have a lot of room on the back side to work with. Ta-da! We got the PC built. Time for its close-up. So looking at it from the front, we did a couple of things with this build. So this comes with 3 120mm fans. We had 1 installed here and 2 over there. I went ahead, I took that top one off, and we made a triple fan array right there at the front for us. And then you'll see I added our cooler here. That's the Pure Loop 2FX cooler with beautiful RGB fans there. And it illuminates right there. And our CPU, if you're wondering, is the AMD. This is the 7700X. I also went ahead and I added an extra fan here in the back for exhaust. This is one of bequiet's Silent Wings Pro 4 fans. Pretty sweet. Got some Lexar DDR5 RAM, 3080FE. Beautiful MSI motherboard tucked away in there. Tomahawk. Again, AM5 socket, DDR5, all that good stuff there. You'll see some of our cable and connection options up at the top too for the power supply, the fans. USB Type-C, USB Type-A, front panel connector, HD audio, that sort of thing. So plenty of room on the front here, a lot of extra space. Here's a look at the back side. There's that Silent Wings Pro 4 fan there. Our motherboard, all of our I/O, our GPU, and then down at the bottom, you'll notice we have a bequiet power supply. This is the Pure Power 12M 1200 watt power supply tucked in there. You'll see it from the back side right there. Additional product info for you. How we have everything connected and managed out the back. You can get as carried away as you want. You'll see how we just managed some stuff up at the top there. Put a hub in. You'll see that for our cooler. Connect all of our fans there and then route everything to the motherboard. Plenty of room on the back though. We didn't even utilize any additional drive storage. But look at all that space in the back for you to really cable manage and take this build in whatever direction you want to go. Also thought I'd show you that front panel here with our illuminated power button and how we have the triple fans installed. Plenty of room. Again, that's 3 120mm fans on the front there. Oh yeah. Now we have all the panels put back on our case and the PC's at an idle so we could get a feel for our baseline temps. Now keep in mind your results will vary with this case depending on the parts and components that you choose. Hopefully if you have the same setup we do, you're seeing similar results, but if you have a different GPU, different cooler, different fan configuration, again, the mileage will vary. But in our case, right now we're showing 34 degrees Celsius for our CPU temps and 25 degrees Celsius for our GPU temps. Again, that's just going to be at idle. So let's go ahead, let's max and stress out the CPU and GPU and see what our temps are. All right, so almost 10 minutes into our stress test, you'll see our temp results here. The AMD CPU is creeping up towards its thermal threshold of 95 degrees Celsius. It'll eventually reach that cap and stay there and then throttle itself. That's normal and that's how they design it. But I've never seen one take this long to get there. So that's a testament to the cooler that we're using. And we'll give a couple of points there to the case as well with the airflow and everything else that's working in its favor. So that will peak at 95 degrees Celsius. We're almost there. We just broke 93. And you'll see our GPU, our 3080, is holding steady right around 70, 71 degrees Celsius. We peaked at 72. And again, that's all under a max 100% utilization for both our CPU and GPU. So it's getting nice and warm in that case. And you'll see everything's well within range and spec. So that's great to see with this case. With everything still being stressed, it's the perfect time to smoke our case so we can see that airflow in real time as the smoke enters into that front panel and exhausts out the top and the back. So let's see it in action here. Oh yeah, look at that. Get a feel for how that's gonna move around in the case, how that air is gonna flow. You have that fresh, cool air coming in, and then you'll see it moves around and exhausts up and out that back side. You also might notice too with those 3 fans configured on the front, it really does a good job pulling that smoke in. Might be hard to see, but it is moving a lot of air from the front through the case. All right, someone take this away. It's just way too much fun. After building with the Be Quiet Shadow Base 800, let me share with you my final thoughts and takeaways. So first thing is, I had no issues with the build quality of this case. Top notch, no imperfections, mismeasurements, or anything like that. So everything is well within spec and range and made out of high quality parts and components, which leads me to my favorite feature, which is the insulation you get on that back panel. If you're like me and a content creator, it's crucial to have very quiet computers when you're streaming and filming. You don't want to have anything be picked up on the microphone. So that's why I lean towards Be Quiet cases personally with my streaming and filming PCs. That could be one of the main reasons why you're looking at this particular case, and it doesn't disappoint. I also like that the tempered glass side panel on the front, you can just tell after, at least for me, I've reviewed quite a few cases, which ones have a cheaper tempered glass and which ones have a more expensive tempered glass. And this has a really thick one on the front, and I'm guessing that has to do with, again, having some more of that insulation all around the PC to help reduce noise so they can live up to their brand's name. Other than that, it's great that we have 3 fans included, but I really wish they included 4. It'd be nice to have a 4th fan so we could have 1 exhaust out the back and have the 3 fan array like how we have ours configured. Other than that, I do want to point out with this case, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that's really going to be something you have to decide. Do you like the look and aesthetic of this case? I personally have thought it a little bit bland and plain, but again, if I'm just building a streaming and filming PC that's off camera and I'm not really showing it off, that's fine, because again, I want to have it be quieter versus flashy and louder. But that's, again, just me. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but again, just up to you and your own personal design preferences. What do you like and what do you prefer? Other than that, this is a large case. There is plenty of leftover space inside. So depending on your build, just keep that in mind. You might have a lot of just dead space, unused space, and it is what it is with that case. So just something you want to consider as you go through everything on your PC building journey. Lastly, there's no sort of PCIe riser cable included if you wanted to get fancy with mounting your GPU in a different position. So that would be an additional expense you would incur if that's the route you want to go.